Hi, I'm Dr. Kim Goodall, and I am 1 in 10. When I was diagnosed with PCOS, I was 15 years old, and at that point in time, I only had about 6 or 7 periods since I started having them when I was 12. So I knew something was up, I just didn't know what. And when I was diagnosed with it, I started to weep. I started to weep because I didn't fully understand what it meant, but I thought it meant that I couldn't have any children. So I was definitely not okay until I did some research. So when I was first diagnosed, I had quite a few symptoms. Hair everywhere. It was not okay. I also battled with acne all over my face and my T-zone, and it was a struggle. I also started to gain a lot of weight, and I didn't understand. I mean, I was very slim before, but then out of nowhere, I wasn't, and I just had a hard time getting used to that. I really feel like the irregular periods and the acne aspect of being diagnosed with PCOS was the hardest part for me. And the weight gain. I mean, I lost the weight now, but it felt like I was living in a body that wasn't mine. I had so many things on my face, and I started to worry so much about how I looked. And then my menses, it just never came. And whenever it did come, it was so irregular. In addition to being diagnosed with endometriosis, it came whenever it wanted to, and very painful at that. And I just yearned. I know it might sound crazy because who wants their period, but I yearned for it. I yearned for it to come, and I wanted it to be normal. I wanted it to last for more than 1 day, and I wanted it to come more than every 50 days or so, you know? So that it was hard feeling like I wasn't normal because I didn't have the same experiences that women are known to have. The symptoms I had affected my daily life by, well, a lot of people don't know when not to say. So when I had a lot of stuff going on with my face, and when I gained weight rapidly, I had to face that criticism. And at the time, it was something that meant so much to me to fit in. And at the time, it meant so much to me to not be criticized on how I looked. And for me, it was really hard walking into a room or being known as this person that people know, and when they see me, they're just like, oh no, what happened to your face? Or, oh goodness, are you pregnant? I got that a lot. I got the question, are you pregnant, quite a bit, and it was really offensive, and it hurt my feelings because no, but I'm trying to lose this weight and it's hard. So yeah, that was me. Oh, how did I forget the hair? So for me, I got this, like a few hairs that would grow under hair. And if you ever zoom in, don't zoom in now though, but if you were to zoom in, you would see some spaces of hyperpigmentation from hair that would grow, and I would pluck it, but it would just grow back, and it made me feel very uncomfortable, especially when people pointed it out at the time. Now, if you want to point it out, that's your business. That's between you and the hair, but it has nothing to do with me. When I was 15, I started hormonal treatment, well, birth control. And I started it to get my acne under control as well as to normalize my menses. I was on birth control for 10 years. 10 years. 9 and like 3 months, but still, it was a very long time, and it did help. It did help because it minimized the acne that I did experience, and it helped to normalize the menstruation or my periods. However, I battled, past tense, with consistency, so don't know, 1 or 2 days to fill them miss. And then I started to see the symptoms come about. So I was very dependent on birth control, and also it upset my stomach, and it really affected my appetite as well. I felt like it would be like a roller coaster ride. It didn't always make me hungry. Sometimes I had no appetite whatsoever, but I still gained the weight. But it was helpful, but I definitely, in retrospect, would have done what I do now to see the results that I have received now. So after 9 years and a few months of battling with PCOS and taking the birth control and freaking out about, oh my goodness, will I ever be able to have children? And also realizing how absurd those concerns were, because when you really know about PCOS and you really put in that work to figure out what it is, you'll find out that it's something that is manageable. So after trying everything but this, I decided that I needed to really get my life together, and I really wanted to put my foot down and take back my life from this thing. And I did that by turning to the one and only thing that I believe can help with pretty much any trial or tribulation that you face, and that's with Jesus. I found the Lord. Well, he found me, and I received him. And I went into a place of submission, giving myself to him. And it was when I decided to let go of trying to not be something, I actually got free from it. I got that breakthrough that I was looking for by seeking him. How I overcame PCOS to the point where I don't have the symptoms that I battled with before, just to outline them: the weight loss, the excessive hair growth, the acne. How I overcame those things, and the irregular menstruation. How I overcame those things was by pressing into him and realizing that I am not defined by them, and really getting lost in him. And I went on a fast where I did change my diet as a part of the fast, where I cut out all animal products, all animal byproducts, and went to some prayer, some serious prayer, y'all. And I realized that PCOS was something that was in my family. My mother, my grandmother, throughout the women, many women, there are 11 women that my great-grandmother had, so you don't know there's a lot of estrogen in the house. And, well, obviously not enough for some women, because of that lack of estrogen, some of us battled with PCOS. But I realized that it was something that was passed down through family, and this is something that I had to break up off of me and pray over even my girls, because I do know it's something that can be passed down generationally. So I went into prayer, changed my diet, tried to exercise, but that didn't work out. I'm trying now, though. And that's how I, essentially, in a nutshell, overcame the stigma of weight gain and even losing the weight, and how I now feel comfortable in who I am as a woman, and knowing that I'm not a woman with PCOS. I'm a woman. So being diagnosed with PCOS and endometriosis really took a toll on my mental health. One, whenever my period did come, I would know the day before, because I would feel like there was glass in my lower abdomen, and it would just throw me through the woodworks, because I didn't want to feel that pain. I didn't know how bad it would get this time, because sometimes I can't move for a few days, and sometimes I can actually get up out of the bed, and it's a great day. So it was really hard for me fearing my period, even though I really wanted it to come so I could feel normal. So it was like darn if I do, darn if I don't type moment. Also, I really, really want children. Really, 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 like 5 or 6, and I'm like, Mama, pick me. No, they're blessings. I really want children. And I was afraid that because of the PCOS and even the endometriosis and the scarring that's usually associated, I would have difficulty with bearing children or conceiving. And I really, really went through waves of depression. And I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. And at the time, about 2 years ago, my doctors wanted to put me on medication for it. And I didn't go on it because I felt like I knew why I battled with these things, and I wanted to try and do a lifestyle approach to manage it rather than medicating the issue. I really, I kind of get emotional sometimes when I think about it, because I remember the place where I was, where I would wake up in the middle of the night just with waves of emotions, wondering what's the next step. Will I be able to have children? There are some women in my family that weren't able to have children, and I really badly wanted to have children. So I just remember where I was and how tolling it was for me. But to know now that I'm free from all of those things and I don't have any worries at all, because I know that he that is within me is greater than he that's in the world, and everything works out for good for those who love the Lord. So I am welling up with emotions, because I just realized I don't have to deal with that anymore.